curbside pickup. 1992 Old Mission Drive, Suite 120 in Solvang. Call 693-2994 and spice up your stay-at-home life.
7:32. Thanks for tuning in to AM 1440 and FM 106.3 KUHL. It's time to talk food with our favorite grocery gal, Amy Goldsmith. Amy's helped to launch and grow some of the most well-known brands that many of us eat, or at least see on the grocery shelves daily. She's a food industry insider and is here to keep us updated during this unprecedented time in history. You can follow Amy and direct message her any questions through Facebook and also on Instagram at The Grocery Gal. First of all, Amy, welcome back. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Ben.
So as it relates to COVID, it seems like food and other supplies are getting back to normal and things seem a little less hysterical. So it's the upcoming Memorial Day weekend. What are you expecting here for many folks maybe that will be home in their backyards?
Yes. I mean, let me start off by saying I am not a trained medical professional by any stretch of the imagination. So much of this is, my opinion, but I anticipate varying degrees of comfort from people. So there are those that are full throttle, back to life as much as they can, roaming around without masks. And then there are those that are continuing to hunker down. And there's everything in between based on age or pre-existing conditions, fear factor, and more. So having said that, I think we'll see a variety of different Memorial Day type gatherings. And as it relates to food, Memorial Weekend is the unofficial kickoff of summer, and that means outdoors and barbecues. And as we said all along, there's no proof that COVID-19 is transferred via food and typical food handling, although I guess if someone sneezes or coughs on it, it's a different story. But if you're having a barbecue and inviting people over, you may want to consider what you allow people to bring with them. I mean, maybe you're limiting it to beverages and prepackaged desserts, and you're just sort of limiting the amount of handling and contact that people are going to have with food. And again, it's just to be safe.
Yeah, definitely. I know, Amy, long before this COVID-19, you've never been a fan of potluck parties. Is that right?
Yeah, you are right. I am not a fan. I never have been. I know way too much. It's really a food safety issue. And, for example, I don't know how long ingredients were in a hot car after, being purchased in the market and before getting home. And I don't know if the salad was properly washed or if a casserole was properly stored after cooking. I don't know how long it was in the heated car or direct sun before getting to my party. There's just too many unknown variables, and maybe I'm a control freak, but if you've ever had food poisoning, which is absolutely terrible, you will agree with me on that. So I don't want people coming to my house and getting sick. And, look, I know people want to bring things and not come in empty-handed. So if they insist, I always suggest like beer, wine, ice, beverages, dessert, an ice cream sundae bar. There are ways to defer costs, get what you need, satisfy the need to bring something, and really just keep it safe.
Yep, that is the name of the game. We have grocery gal Amy Goldsmith here on KUHL, the time 7:35. So what are some other food safety tips for this upcoming weekend? A big barbecue weekend, I'm sure, for a lot of folks.
Yeah, absolutely. So like any time, wash your hands thoroughly and wash them often. And, first of all, before starting and doing anything, wash down all the surfaces with hot water and soap, with a clean paper towel or clean sponge. And then, wipe after that. Use like a Clorox wipe or some sort of multi-purpose cleaner on top of that. Keep food stored properly as long as possible. Meats in the refrigerator, mayonnaise, and anything with mayonnaise is out of the sun always. And when you barbecue, don't reuse the tongs and the tray that the raw meat was on. Put it on the grill, wash it with hot water after putting it on the grill. Wash the tongs and the tray. And if there are colder items that you're putting out for like a buffet, put the platter out at the very last minute. And if you can, put it on blue ice blocks if available. And, look, here's the deal with COVID. We don't want everyone using the same serving fork and tongs. So one person either needs to, dish it out and be the server, so only one person is touching it, or they need to use their own plastic utensils to serve themselves. I would recommend using all disposable plates and utensils. I know it's not very green. There are green, forks and knives and plates that are considered more green, but everything should be thrown away afterwards. And also try not to have items that everyone sticks their hands into, like chip bowls. For example, it was my husband's birthday a few weeks ago, and we had a few of his friends over outside, physically distanced, And I went to Smart and Final, and I picked up those restaurant kind of to-go boxes, the kind that has three sections in it. I think I got 100 for $10, and
wow.
It was really inexpensive. And each guest got their own kind of to-go box, and I put chips, salsa, and guacamole in it. And you can do the same with other appetizers. You can do cheese, crackers, dip, and chips and veggies. And again, this way it's not shared, or at the very least, have plates out for appetizers so people can put their appetizers, on the plate and take it with their own utensils and not use their hands and be sharing utensils and those kinds of things.
And, of course, using hand sanitizer, right?
That's right, hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Put that on the buffet, right? I mean, I would have hand sanitizer out all over the place, on tables. Also, if you're allowing people to use your restroom, make sure there's soap and paper towels, and I would remove all the cloth towels from the bathroom. Also, if you have two bathrooms in your home or apartment, designate one for guests and have the other just for your family. So, and if you need to add signs designating it, then do it. This way your family is using one and you guys been quarantining together and you're going to use the same restroom together. And then the other one you can, clean and sterilize after. And this may sound paranoid, but again, these are all tips of precaution. And why not err on the side of precaution? Also, as for food, be sure to throw out the marinades and sauces that you've been marinating your raw meat in. Again, I said, use clean utensils and a clean plate to remove cooked meat from the grill. And if you're barbecuing, you want your meat, fish, and chickens to get about 145 to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. That kills the bacteria. Chicken needs to be about 165 degrees. And by the way, don't wash down chicken before using it. It only spreads germs.
Yeah, matter of fact, we mentioned that before. I think that you should just probably cook it as opposed to washing it in the sink because, the germs get all over the place. So,
correct.
Yeah,
correct. I don't know where this ever came from to wash the chicken before using it. It just spreads the germs and puts it all over the sink and the handle on the sink and the knob and everything. It's
big mess.
Throw it on the grill.
Yep. All right, we've got Grocery Gal Amy Goldsmith with us here at 7:39. Before we wrap up, Amy, I was going to ask you, I know that we're starting to hear about more businesses on the path to reopening. So where you are there in Southern California, are you noticing anything different with restaurants and businesses there?
Not so much in Los Angeles County yet. It's slowly, I think people are more in preparation mode, getting ready to open up and making sure that the safety precautions are in place. But it's still pretty much grab and go right now, takeout and delivery.
Yeah, and I know that we're hearing about some places in California actually letting restaurants move tables outdoors and serve people there. I don't know if you're hearing the same thing. Maybe that could be happening where you are.
I haven't seen that quite yet, in the little Los Angeles bubble that I live in. But I certainly do hear that's happening. And, polls are showing that people are more likely to sit outside and more comfortable, rather, sitting outside than sitting indoors. And, as we move into the warmer weather, I think we'll see that probably first and foremost before we really see a lot of people going indoors.
Yeah, we're getting in that process of starting to talk about reopening, so that's good. And what are you going to be doing for the upcoming Memorial Day weekend? Anything fun?
I don't really know. It's all just so day to day, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
We'll try and go take a walk down at the beach. We did that last weekend. We wore masks and spent some time just kind of walking on the shore. We'll probably do that and probably just barbecue at the house using all my food safety tips.
Perfect. I'll probably be doing the same thing. I think a lot of us are going to stick pretty close to home for the upcoming weekend. So anyway, we've been speaking to Grocery Gal Amy Goldsmith. You can direct message her any questions through Facebook and also on Instagram at The Grocery Gal. Amy, have a wonderful holiday weekend coming up, and we'll try to hook up with you coming up next week.
Absolutely. You too, Ben. And
all right.
Happy Memorial Day to all the listeners.
Absolutely. 7:41. Don't forget birthday.